don't know where you are in your walk with Jesus, but I do know that you don't have to clean yourself up in order for Him to meet you where you are. I know for myself that the enemy likes to separate you from the pack so he can pick you off. And he does that in a way that he knows is going to resonate with you personally. So when I was a child, I was abused by somebody in the church. And the church stood behind him and persecuted me, and I left. But I still wanted to be that light for God. And so I went looking for how to do that outside of where I was rejected. And that led me into things like Reiki and all these different modalities that on the surface look a particular way, like they're from God, but they are a doctrine of devils. And the deeper that I got into it, the more I couldn't see what I could possibly do with my life if I got rid of it. And then God delivered me from all of this stuff that I had committed my life to. I had gone as far as being an instructor in many different modalities, thinking that I had found a way to use God's gifts towards me and the abilities that He gave me without having to go back to the place where I had been persecuted, because I really didn't want to go there. And what I found is that God will meet you exactly where you are. He came to me right in the middle of me doing all of these different things and building a career around those things. And over the course of a couple of weeks, He shook them off of me with the truth. He revealed the truth to me. There's a Bible story about the prodigal son. And what a lot of people miss about that story is this son finds himself living with the pigs and wishing that he could eat their food because he was that hungry. And he starts to formulate a plan. I'm going to go to my father and I'm going to ask him to be a servant because even my father's servants eat better than these pigs. And he's preparing what he's going to say when he gets there. He's trying to clean himself up before he sees his father, get his mind right. But his father's waiting for him and sees him from a far off distance and runs towards his son and embraces him in his filth, in his smell, and calls to his servants and says, put a robe on him, put a ring on him, put new shoes on him, make a feast for him, my son has come home. And everything that his son thought he was going to have to say to his father in order to be welcomed back as a lowly servant were not needed. So he never said those things to his father. Instead, he realized, I don't have to try to contrive of something I can offer my father that could potentially be worthy enough to be welcomed back as a servant. Instead, he's met with the reality that his father loves him and already knows who he is and where he's been and what he's done. And he is still loved. And it fills his heart with gratitude. And it fills his heart with conviction about how far he went away from a father who loves him in spite of his frailties and his mistakes. And this is what I have found to be true. God gave me particular gifts, as he gives even everyone else. And I had a strong desire to be someone who put my hands on people and spoke those words of healing. And I've been doing that since a child. And when this thing that happened in the church happened, I got separated from the pack. You see, the enemy can see what God has placed upon you. He can see your abilities. He can see your gifts. He can see your mantle, and he wants it for himself. So run to God and lay down wherever it is and whatever it is that you've done at his feet, and he will restore you. I'm 55, and for the first time in my life, I go to a church where it's safe to be the authentic me, that salty soldier. And for the first time in my life, I was asked to be a part of a church and welcomed in as that salty soldier, and have found a support network. And God will do the same for you.